Can you imagine a city where blues and jazz still beat in its streets, where skyscrapers graze the clouds, the fresh water looks like an ocean, and where you can eat a pizza so deep it looks like a pie? Welcome to Quantum Passport. Today we travel to Chicago, the third largest city in the United States and a destination full of history, culture, gastronomy, and entertainment. Located on the shores of Lake Michigan, in the state of Illinois, Chicago has a climate of very cold winters and warm summers. Its official language is English, the currency is the US dollar, and more than 2.7 million people live here, while each year more than 50 million tourists visit. Chicago is not just skyscrapers, it is also music. Blues and jazz were born here and still beat in its neighborhoods. And each zone of the city has its own identity. Downtown, or the Loop, the financial and urban heart of Chicago, where modernity and skyscrapers dominate the skyline. North Side, a bohemian and dynamic zone, recognized for its cultural life, its beaches, and its nightlife. West Side, multicultural and diverse, with neighborhoods marked by history, urban art, and the strength of their communities. South Side, cradle of blues music and popular baseball, with a strong identity tied to tradition and local culture. How to arrive in Chicago. Arriving in Chicago is easier than you think, no matter where you come from. The city is an important transportation hub in the United States, which gives you several options to choose from. Plane, the most common way to arrive, O'Hare International Airport, ORD, is one of the busiest in the world, with flights to almost any destination and a wide network of connections within and outside the country. But the city also has Midway Airport, MDW, which is smaller, more practical and focused on low-cost airlines, ideal for those traveling within the United States. Train. If you prefer a more panoramic trip, Amtrak connects Chicago with a large part of the country. The city is a key point in the railway network, and its Union Station, in addition to being an important transportation hub, is an architectural jewel. Bus. Traveling by bus is a practical and economical option to arrive in Chicago. Companies like Greyhound, Flixbus, and Megabus connect the city with different destinations in the country, being an accessible alternative for those looking to watch their budget. Where to stay. Choosing where to sleep in Chicago depends on your budget and travel style. The good news is that there are options for all pockets. Tight budget. If you travel with a limited budget, you can find hostels and economical hotels for between $50 and $100 a night. Zones like the South Side or alternative neighborhoods like Wicker Park offer accessible options, with a more local and authentic city atmosphere. Medium budget. With a budget between $150 and $250 a night, you can achieve a good balance between price and location. Zones like the West Loop or the surroundings of the Magnificent Mile offer comfort and easy access to the main attractions. Neighborhoods like River North or Lincoln Park are also good options, combining urban atmosphere with cultural and gastronomic options. High budget. If you are looking for a luxury experience, Chicago also has a lot to offer. With more than $300 a night, zones like River North and Gold Coast stand out for their exclusive lodgings, from large chains to boutique hotels. The Magnificent Mile concentrates several of the most prestigious options, with rates that easily exceed $350 a night. Transport in the city. No matter if you go by subway, bus, bike, or on foot, getting around Chicago is quite easy, and you will always find an option that adjusts to your time and budget. VentureCard. The first thing you should know is that this rechargeable card is your best ally and the key to transport in Chicago. With it you access the L subway and the buses without the need for cash. A single trip costs about $2.50, while passes range from $5 for one day up to $20 for 1 week, ideal if you plan to stay several days. The L train. This is what Chicago's subway is called, famous because a large part of its tracks are elevated. It operates 24 hours a day on some lines and connects both the center and neighborhoods and suburbs. It is, without a doubt, the heart of the city's transport. Buses. The bus system complements the train, reaching zones where the L does not reach. They are very useful for moving within the same neighborhood or covering short distances. Taxis and apps. Uber and Lyft are available throughout the city. They are comfortable, but keep in mind that prices usually go up during peak hours or during important events. Bicycles and scooters. In addition to the Divvy public bicycle program, Chicago also offers electric scooters for rent through apps. They are practical for short trips, ecological, and a fun way to tour the center or tourist zones. Places to visit. Chicago is full of iconic places, but if you only have time for a few, here is the list of the unmissable ones. The Art Institute of Chicago. Considered one of the most prestigious museums in the United States, it offers an immense collection that goes from ancient to modern art. Its galleries are a tour through centuries of history and creativity, and among its treasures is the famous painting Nighthawks by Edward Hopper. Millennium Park, the most famous park in the city. It is where you will find the iconic Cloud Gate, popularly known as the Beam, a steel sculpture that reflects the city's skyline. Magnificent Mile. It is not just a street, it is the mecca of shopping. Here you will find luxury stores, boutiques, and department stores, in addition to being an architectural paradise. Navy Pier. Located on the shores of Lake Michigan, this historic pier is perfect for spending the afternoon. It has an amusement park, botanical gardens, and restaurants with spectacular views. Skydeck Chicago, Willis Tower for a bird's-eye view of Chicago. The Skydeck on the 103rd floor offers you a 360-degree view, including the famous The Ledge, a glass box that will make you feel like you are floating over the city. Chicago Riverwalk, a walk next to the river with restaurants, bars, and boat tours to admire the city's unique architecture. Architecture Boat Tour. It is a boat tour on the Chicago River where expert guides explain the history and secrets of the most iconic skyscrapers of the city. It lasts about 75 minutes and costs around $45. Gastronomy. The city has created true culinary icons that reflect its diversity and character. If you come, you cannot leave without trying these delights. Deep Dish Pizza. An authentic institution. With its thick and deep base, it has the cheese at the bottom and the tomato sauce on top. It is more a pie than a pizza, and each portion is hearty and delicious. Chicago-style hot dog. Here you don't play with the rules. The classic hot dog is served on a bun with poppy seeds and has dark mustard, onion, green relish, tomato slices, a pickle, sport peppers, and celery salt. The sacred rule: no ketchup. Italian beef. A sandwich of very thinly sliced beef, marinated in its own juice and served on long bread. You can order it dry, barely moist, or wet, completely soaked, according to your preference. Garrett Popcorn. Much more than popcorn. The most famous mix, the Garrett Mix, combines the salty flavor of cheese with the sweet one of caramel, creating a unique contrast that has conquered locals and tourists. Gourmet Donuts. A trend that came to stay. In Chicago, you will find artisanal donuts with creative flavors and surprising toppings, which have become part of the mandatory gastronomic tour. Shows and cultural life. The culture in Chicago is as vibrant as its streets. From comedy to classical music, there is always a stage ready to surprise you. Second City Comedy Club. Considered the cradle of improv comedy, here figures like Tina Fey and Steve Carell started. Their presentations are agile, fun, and close, with tickets around $30. Blues clubs. Chicago breathes blues, and places like Blue Chicago, Kingston Mines, or Buddy Guy's Legends keep the essence of the genre alive. With tickets starting from $15, they offer nights full of energy and musical tradition. The Chicago Theater. An icon of downtown, its famous luminous sign and its majestic interior make it a show in itself. There, concerts and varied events are held, with tickets that usually start at $50. Broadway in Chicago. The city is also home to great musicals. In historic theaters like the Cadillac Palace, world-class productions are presented with tickets from $60. Chicago Symphony Orchestra. Recognized among the best orchestras on the planet, it offers a unique experience for lovers of classical music. Its concerts start at around $40. Lollapalooza. It is a 4-day music festival that is held annually at the end of July and beginning of August in Grant Park, in the center of Chicago. Originally a traveling tour, it has become one of the largest and most iconic musical events in the world, with a mix of genres ranging from alternative rock and hip-hop to electronic music. Relevant sports sites. Chicago breathes sports, and its stadiums are true temples for fans. Wrigley Field, home of the Chicago Cubs, it is one of the oldest stadiums in the MLB. Its classic atmosphere and the famous ivy that covers the walls make it a place full of history and tradition. Soldier Field, home of the Chicago Bears, it combines a classic facade with a modern interior. In addition to American football, it receives international soccer matches and big concerts, which makes it a multifunctional icon of the city. United Center, home of the Chicago Bulls and the Chicago Blackhawks, this venue is part of world sports legend. Here Michael Jordan became an idol, and today it is still synonymous with a passion for basketball and ice hockey. Chicago Marathon. Beyond the stadiums, the city is also famous for its marathon, one of the 6 most important in the world. It brings together runners from all corners of the planet and turns the streets of Chicago into a unique sporting spectacle. Chicago was born as a small settlement in 1833, but its destiny changed after the Great Fire of 1871, which destroyed a large part of the city. What seemed like a tragedy became an opportunity to reinvent itself. Although many think that skyscrapers were born in New York, the truth is that it was in Chicago where this modern icon emerged. In 1885, the Home Insurance Building was erected, with 10 floors and an innovative steel structure, considered the first skyscraper in the world. Since then, Chicago not only rebuilt itself, but also became the cradle of skyscrapers, a symbol that still defines its skyline and its resilient spirit. Curious fact: did you know that the Chicago River flows backward? At the beginning of the 20th century, Chicago engineers achieved one of the most impressive feats of engineering. They reversed the flow of the Chicago River. They did it to divert the city's waste away from Lake Michigan, which was its source of drinking water. Thanks to this masterpiece, the river flows south and joins the Des Plaines River, an engineering marvel that changed the health of the city forever. And so we finish our tour through Chicago, a city that mixes history, architecture, culture, and flavor on every corner. If you like this video, give it a like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments what your favorite corner of Chicago is. Did we miss any? Let us know in the comments. We'll see you in the next destination of Quantum Passport. And as they say in Chicago, keep on rockin' in the Windy City.